Hey everybody, welcome to Bizchicks TV. This is the place to be for tips, tools, strategies, and everything you need to take the hassle out of your hustle and to build a profitable business that's fun to run. Today is Tuesday. The digital diva is right here. She's in the house. She's got everything that we need to talk or to get our digital marketing social media game together. So we want to welcome you. Get a pen, some paper, or your tablet, however you take really good notes. And let's get into today's session. Take it away, TJ.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week of what we call Marketing Talk, where we talk about the latest and the greatest going on with digital marketing, social media marketing, email marketing, content marketing, what have you, because all of those things you need to know to run your business online. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, I don't want to be on social media. I don't need to be. And that's fine. But if you're there, things are constantly changing and you got to keep up with what the changes are. So a lot of that is done in studies. So I found me another data study. It's like, love when I find these. So this one is Forbes. And let me pull up so I can read it to you. It's from Forbes Advisor, which I didn't do any too deep dive, but I just saw Forbes. I know what that is. But it was like, it's the title. Is social media the new Google? Question mark. Gen Z turned to Google 25% less than Gen X when searching. So we've been talking a lot about, okay, Gen Z, they do everything on Twitter. They're starting to, well, I don't even think it's starting to. They search on TikTok. Most of us in our generation, we search on Google. We use Google. I go to Google for everything because that's, when we started using the internet, it was like, okay, Yahoo, and then it was Google. But remember, this Gen Z is coming up and they don't use devices or, websites or things like that. They use their phone. Pretty much. Phone is in their hand. They don't say, oh, TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. Let me get out of TikTok and go search on Google. They don't do that. They search within TikTok or a little bit Instagram. So this article, let me read my notes because I wrote some notes. I want to make sure we get the notes. So this is about, so the study highlights a decline in Google usage among Generation Z compared to Generation X and emphasizes the importance of integrating social media into digital strategies to capture a mobile first audience. Now, the mobile first audience is just a way to say everybody has a phone in their hand. And I'm just saying that when I worked corporate and everything was desktop. It was desktop. Now, because there wasn't, mobile phones were just being, coming into use. I remember having a Palm Pilot, that device was like, oh, you got a digital planner in your hand. It didn't do anything but, have a calendar. But people were doing things on the desktop. They still are in corporate land. In corporations, they still do work on desktop, laptop computers, but Gen Z's world is all about mobile. So we've got to look at the shift in how they're doing it. Now, personally, I use Google. When I pick up my phone, there's a couple apps I open. One is Google, the G, just straight Google. I go in there. Google gives me like today's news, the trends. It remembers what I liked and everything. So hold on, guys. I gotta let my cat out. The cat wants to go.
So while TJ is taking care of that, what do you think about the mobile first environment? That just jumped out at me. We are mobile first now. No longer are we doing desktop first. when you get ready to do something on your computer, or when you get ready to send a message or do anything, we're pulling out the phone. We're not, oh, let me run to my desk and send an email.
Right. Right. Because the you're holding the phone. Most average person is holding the phone. So you're there already. So remember, this generation, they don't let go of the phone.
Right.
So here's a couple. Go ahead.
No, this is interesting because if you think about it, the world is mobile first.
Yeah,
This
because
is
remember, we've done some study talking about they've shown smartphone usage and growth in the they've done it by United States and worldwide different countries, and the smartphone adaptation is almost like worldwide 99-98%. Like most people have a phone in some form or fashion or a device.
yep.
So we've talked about that. It's not a shocker. The shocker now is, where are people searching? That's what we need to talk about. It's a shift in internet usage. I guess that's the
Mm,
best way to put it. So that's why, because I call it changing the online game. It's like it's like changing. You got social media, yes, but there's a world of people that they search for things first. They don't go to social media. They search and they use Google. But
right.
now, depending on generation, there's a generation that doesn't use Google. And remember, this generation, they don't use Facebook. That's old people to them. They do things their way. So we have to talk about the way they do things their way, because fortunately or unfortunately, that wave gets to us. Because I remember a time when the text messaging started, and I was like, I am never texting. I am
Mm,
not doing that. Is stupid, because here in New York City, people were texting and stopping in the street. They would stop on this, because you got to go from the subway. You got to come up from the ground. So everybody walks up the steps, and you got to keep moving. But these people would stop in the middle of the step and start texting. I mean, it was a thing to where I was like, "What is this that everybody is texting?" And now I'm like, "Don't call me, text me." Cause that was it millennials? They had the sign. I remember the sidekick was a big thing, and this was when MySpace is out. I was like, I'm not doing that text. That's crazy. These kids are crazy. They just stop in the middle of the street and just text, and they did not consider it or what. And I'm like, what's going on? So now, what did the world do? They text. Here's another thing: emoji marketing. We talked about that a while back. Like, oh, who used emojis? Millennials. Now it's like everybody uses emojis, and now they mean different things to different generations. Because we talked about the thumbs up emoji is offensive to Gen Z. I don't know why they don't understand it. So, but
right.
those are some of the nuances.
Right. I'm still working on that language. Okay, so it's not bilingual anymore. We are trilingual or something, because we got to now learn how to. I'm like, what does that emoji mean?
But see, here's the good thing about that is it's generational. So if you're in a certain generation, you're getting the language. And then if it's an older generation like boomers, there's a different way.
Right.
And it's all based on experience. So the long and short of this is that Gen Z grew up mobile first. They don't know any other way.
Right.
So that's going to be their focus. And we've talked about it in little, bits and pieces here, but I saw this study. I want to bring it up. So we have to talk about the shift in internet usage, migration from desktops to mobile devices. And this study has there's a lot of stuff in here, but I just want to get through to the stuff about mobile optimization, the shift in how people discover your brand online, and some digital strategies about, and we talk about digital strategies concerning your generation. Like if Gen Z is your audience, you should be on Snapchat, TikTok, and Instagram, because they're not on Facebook. You shouldn't, because everybody should be on Facebook, but the concentration is not Facebook because that's not where they're hanging out. It's I always use the mall analogy. Because when I was in school, it was like we're going to the mall. You get your parents to drop you off in the mall. You hung there every day because that was where all the friends were. That was all your high school friends, and you talked about this and you talked about that. It all happened at the mall. So if kids today don't do that, they don't want to go to the mall. Everything is online, so the phone is their mall, where discussions happen, where they talk about this that happened in school. They talk about whatever teenagers talk about. They're doing it probably on Snapchat because of the privacy part of it, where they can have their little groups and cliques. But we've talked about some of these things. So let's pull this up. This Forbes Advisor article. I'm going to give you the link. There's a lot of data in here. And honestly, it's not organized well. Like it's all over the place, but there's a lot of stuff here. So we're going to take a look at it. So it's social media, the new Google. And this is okay. So they've got, there's the Gen Zs using the phone. And there's a little bit about here. There's some key takeaways. Let's look at this key takeaways. There's a decline of 25% on average in using Google for search between Gen Z and Generation X. X, I forgot what the age is. Probably 50, 40 to 50, 45 to 55, maybe 58, something like that. A quarter, 24% of people say they primarily use social media to search online. A third of the people, 33%, only use their cell phone to access the internet. Gen Z uses TikTok over Google to search for a variety of topics because they're already there. 84% of the population still turn to search engines for brand name searches. There's a 30% decline in using search engines for this purpose between baby boomers, and that's people born 1964 to 1940 something, and 94%, and Gen Z 64% in 2024. A quarter, 24% of people said they find new brands on social media daily. Now, let me scroll to the bottom real quick. This is there's a lot of stuff, and I want to talk about the sample because that information is here. So this was an online survey of 2,000 general population Americans. This was commissioned by Forbes Advisor, conducted by market research company Talker Research, and data was collected from April 12th to April 22nd, 2024. And they have a margin of error, and it's 95% confidence. So they talked to 2,000 general population Americans between April 12th to April 22nd this year, and it was an online survey, of course, because you're not calling people. That's why there's talk about the political polls. Like if you're calling people, that's a certain demo. Okay.
Oh.
All right. So there is. Here we go. So let's look at this one. 1 in 5 people don't feel the need to use search engines as they can access websites through social media. Younger generations are more likely to use social media to search over Google. So here we go. They put the dates in good. So Generation Z, 1997 to 2006, 46% likely to use social media to search over. This is over Google. Millennials is next. 1981, 1996. Millennials, 35%. The next is Generation X, which is 1965 to 1980, 18%. And baby boomers is 1946 and 1964, 7%. And then we still had the silent generation. I always forget about them, but they were born between 1925 and 1945, 2%. So what is this telling you? And Google should be really concerned here. What is this saying? So this is saying that they're saying among survey respondents, 18% use both social media apps and traditional search engines, choosing between the two based on specific needs. Meanwhile, 24% occasionally turn to social media for searches, but primarily rely on search engines. 34% use only traditional search engines, and that's an older method of information retrieval, which is what I just said about, okay, if you grew up using the desktop at work or whatever, there was a time when we didn't have mobile uses, so you're used to going to the desktop for everything, versus Gen Z, which is going to the phone, mobile first for everything. Okay, so
Right.
what do we think of this?
I think that Google might be okay if people are using YouTube to search. That's going to be there.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up, because that's a part of this. That they I have to find, this is such a big article. There's a section in here that mentions exactly what you said, that Gen Z they use YouTube as a search also. When they go to Google, they search. They don't, I mean, not Google. When they go to YouTube, they search. So they're not going, it's not like a Netflix where Google, you go to YouTube and it's almost there, but you don't really search when you go to Netflix. At least I don't know how everybody uses it.
I'm like,
You see what pops up.
Yeah, and you like, okay, do I want to see that movie? No, you're
Right.
not necessarily searching for a particular thing.
Right. And what else does Netflix do? If you watch something and you stopped in the middle, when you come back, guess what? Oh, remember you were watching this. A lot of the streamers do that they will show you what you were watching. Also, you might like.
Right.
Which YouTube does that. But people, when they go to YouTube, and I think it's Gen Z that said this, I gotta find the number, that they go and they use Google as a search engine, because it really is.
YouTube.
YouTube. I get Google. YouTube is a search engine because it is a part of Google.
Mm-hmm.
And we have other studies we talked about that Gen Z, they love to use YouTube. They don't use Google, which it's the same thing. Google is, all of that is part of Alphabet, which is the same company, but they are going to YouTube. They see that, you see the front page, and it looks a little like Netflix because it remembers the last video you watch, and it will either show you a video from that channel or something similar. But they're going in and going, I want to search for, say they're looking for Kendrick Lamar has a new the thing that's been happening. He made a song and put it out on YouTube without a video, but he finally made a traditional video for it. So some people are like, well, let me go find that. But if you've listened to Kendrick Lamar on YouTube, you go in and it's right there. Right. But that's some nuances of YouTube. But they will go to YouTube and search, oh, Kendrick Lamar has the video for Not Like Us. So they type in Not Like Us, and guess what they get? The video. Good morning, Dr. Taji.
Yes, Dr. Taji. They also, okay, so when I'm searching for something, I can go in without going to Google and, like if I'm looking for a cleaning product or something, how to clean,
yes, how to
stickiness off the floor or something sticky off the floor. It'll take you to videos of people who talked about, well, I use this and this and this, and
right.
you get recommendations.
Different things. You get recommendations. You get people talking about the how to. You get different types of stuff.
Right, because on Amazon, when you go and do that, you have to scroll through and look at all of the reviews. I just want to know, what I mean?
Now remember, Amazon has the Rufus, so now people are going to start searching using the search part of it.
Using Rufus, right? Yeah, because before, Amazon brought you up a bunch of stuff. You don't know if it's going to work.
Right, you had to filter and find your way and read, like you said, read the reviews and see what was legit and is this a good product or is it from China and it's a bunch of whatever, it doesn't work. All of that will be there, but you had to search for it. Now we've got AI that does it for us.
Right. And so YouTube was a way to do it because you have somebody who's talking about the product, yes, or talking about a method that they used and why it will work or whatever. I was like, okay. So I use YouTube a lot for searches.
Yeah.
And because Google, the other part about Google is when you type it in, sometimes I don't want to see all them ads at the top.
Yes,
I was
right.
like, I need to see people who are not trying to sell me something. I need to see the other people. So you
You
go down,
want you want a real person who's talking about a real thing.
and that's why they search in TikTok, because TikTok are real people
Yes,
talking about a particular thing.
right. That's why they love TikTok, because it's not, brands are there, but they can distinguish between a brand and, just a person talking about the thing. And we've talked about TikTok a lot, that people are going on and talk about their thing. There's lots of videos where women are, they call it get ready with me, and they're putting makeup on and they talk, but then it's not a makeup tutorial. They're talking about something else.
Right. While they're getting ready.
Right. They're getting ready, or they talk, or they do something. They're cooking, or there's different things going on there. And like I said, TikTok is still around. Use it. I put up a video the other day, and I was surprised. I was like, look at all these views I'm getting.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like, okay. And
TikTok on the burner phone though.
but see, in my case, it's just procrastination. I had so many things to do. I was like, okay, I need to take and make it the TikTok size. And so I finally sat down and said, let me do a couple and let me put them up. But I knew that was going to happen, because that's the way TikTok works, is that it's a soapbox. You can talk about whatever you like. You don't have to dance. I've said, how many times we said that you don't have to dance? Millions. You don't have to dance on TikTok. It's not designed like that. It's designed for entertainment, education, whatever you're talking about. TikTok is going to match you with an audience. They're good
Okay.
at that. Now, the fact that they're going away, we got the rest of the year, so don't, I said put that on pause, but use it. So
On
it
a
might
burner
be,
phone.
yeah, on a burner, but use it. Or I used it on the desktop. I mean, listen, whatever
Okay.
China's done, they've done it already.
They was trying to
so,
get you, if they're trying to get look,
so it's
agents
not,
getting
yeah. I don't use it on my phone where I have financial information. I don't use it on a laptop where it's financial information, or social security, whatever you're doing is your information. I use it on something that I call dummy burner phones, but and also I said, if you're using it, remember to direct them to something that you own media, an email list, your YouTube, whatever it is, direct them there, because remember, the call can be disconnected at any time, just like in the blab days when we were blabbing like this and they turned the lights off and we were sitting in the dark.
It was like, what is happening?
Where to go, what to do. But if you've made that connection on whatever other platform that you set, there's so many. I discovered one called School, SKOOL. That's one that's new that people are talking about. But those are, you just direct them to where you want them to go. Someplace that not, you could do Facebook, but remember, Facebook you don't own. I would suggest always email us, because that is, that's the old standby, the old landline we call. Okay, so this is the younger generation are most likely to use social media to search over Google, and we said why. So you see the numbers there. Now let me see. I'm gonna look on my iPad and see, because there's a bunch of stuff in here. Let's look at this one. I'm just gonna scroll. Here we go. So this one is about people. A third of the people. Remember, 2,000 people. 33% only use their cell phone to access the internet. And here it is broken out by generation. So here, let's look at Gen Z. Gen Z, YouTube is on top all the time. Instagram is their neck and neck. I mean, I would see by YouTube being on top, there's probably like half a percentage point or whatever the difference is, just a slight edge over Instagram. TikTok is 73%, Google is 65%, Snapchat is 59%. Look at Snapchat in there with Gen Z. And we know why. We talked about that. Now, millennials, YouTube 84%, Facebook 76%. This shocked me. Facebook, that shocked me. Google 73%, Instagram 62%, TikTok 55%. TikTok is that thing that's rising from that horse is all the way at the back that's trying to get to the front.
I know. Yeah.
Trying to get there with millennials. I'm just saying, but I was shocked to see Facebook here. Shocked. All right, Gen X. Pinterest, another shocker. Pinterest. Do you see that? 82%.
Yeah.
Out of the
Wow.
sample 2,000 from April this year. Next is YouTube at 77%. Google, there's that Google, 75%. Instagram is 49%. There's TikTok, that horse coming up from the rear. That runner coming up from the rear, trying to get to the front. This is another shocker. I was like, look at Pinterest here. There's no Pinterest in the top 5 with the other 2 generations, but Gen X and baby boomers, Pinterest is there. So we talked about Pinterest. What do you think?
Well, if you are talking to that audience, you better get one or use it.
I'm just saying, and Pinterest is easy. It's easy to use. You make a graphic in a certain format. Canva can help you with that. You make the graphic in that format and you put a link. The link could be to your article, your website, your LinkedIn profile, your LinkedIn article, your LinkedIn newsletter, your Facebook group page, it's the link. Pinterest doesn't care what the link is. You could link to your latest Instagram post. You can link to your Instagram profile. Again, where you're a traffic cop. Where do you want them to go? Because they will go there. People have the link in bio, stand store, whatever the link, the link that collects other links.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many platforms where you can make that link in bio. Your pins could go to that. You got an email list. Your pins all could go to that. So Pinterest is here on top, 82% with Gen X. Baby boomers is Google. There you go, Google. Facebook, that doesn't shock me. I am a little shocked that Facebook isn't on top, but Google is there. Then YouTube, then Instagram, Pinterest. Is TikTok on here? Top 5 for baby boomers? No. But if we did top 10, I would love to see it, or probably see it at 10 or 11. Like it's.
And it only would be there because somebody's grandchild got grandma or grandpa on TikTok.
Mm-hmm. They're aware of it. But see, remember, these are like the top 5. So I'm just saying, and why we're talking about this is because it's interest of each generation. Who is your audience? They're not everybody. No, it is not everybody. It is baby boomers. It could be silent generation. Baby boomers, Gen X, millennial, Gen Z. You know where your target audience is. So if the Gen X, where are their attention currently? That's why I like to bring you these studies, because this is April of this year. It's not 2 years ago, which would be something totally different. Pinterest is on the rise. Pinterest is on the rise. And these numbers are there. Hold on. Let me text message. Okay, here we go. So what do we think here? Most used apps on the cell phone by generation.
I noticed that the silent generation is not listed here on the cell phone, because they're not on a cell phone. Well, majority of them are not on the cell phone.
Yeah, they're not. That's a small group. Unfortunately, the numbers are dwindling, but they are not using cell phones. But they have a relative, a grandchild, a great grandchild, a child, uncle. Well, not uncle. Someone in the family that is in one of these groups. So there's the influence part.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the generation from 2006 to present
Mhm.
is that what is that? Is Gen Z? What is that? Gen Alpha
Gen
now?
Z,
No,
Gen
before.
Alpha is 2006 to 2007, sorry, 2007 to probably now, 2020 or 20. I haven't looked at that.
Okay,
And
it's
we need
really
to look at
interesting.
now.
I need to
Mhm.
find that. Dr. Tachi says some of them use some of the silent generations use cell phones. They
Yes,
do,
some do.
and that's that. What is that? What is that company? Consumer Cellular.
Jitterbug? Oh, yeah, the jitterbug.
Yeah, that. Them, and they were ripping the people off at one point, but okay. But they do use a
Yeah, they
cell
do.
phone.
I'm not saying that they don't,
No, no,
but
no.
they're either using it or exposed to someone who is using it,
Using
Gen
it
Z,
right,
which is
but
always on it.
they're using it for a call. They're not
Right.
necessarily
They're
using it
phone
for,
calls.
yeah, they're not using it to search Google, send an email, or any of that. They're just,
It would be nice if they were. There's probably a few that do, but most of them aren't. So
mm,
now I saw this. I'm not, let me see if there's a chart. Okay, there's not a chart. So this I saw 24% of the people they surveyed said they find new brands on social media daily. Daily. So here social media platforms have become a central avenue for brand discovery. They discover new companies through these networks. 24% of people encounter new brands on social media daily. 25% of people report discovering new brands weekly, while 16% do so monthly. So this is 65% of individuals finding new business or products via social media at least once a month. So this is impact.
mm-hmm.
So 44% of Gen Z said they find new brands daily on social media, and 33% say weekly. So this part, they're saying Gen Z is highly active in discovering new brands on social media because they're already there. They're always there. They're always connected. All right, let me find another. Oh, let's look at this one. People are more likely to search for businesses on TikTok than Instagram. TikTok has overtaken Instagram as a preferred platform for users looking for businesses because it's video centric. It allows users to discover new products and services in an engaging format. See, we've talked about that, being on TikTok, not dancing, just engaging. There's lots of people there, like I said, they do the makeup, get ready with me, or they try on outfits, get ready with me, and then they talk about something else. But they're doing engaging things to get people to, okay, what's going on here? So they're saying the interactive nature of TikTok videos helps brands capture the attention of their audience, proving it essential for businesses aiming to expand their online presence. There's a clear preference for TikTok among users when it comes to searching for business information, and the significance of TikTok in the daily digital routines of users is evident, especially given concerns about potential access restrictions, which, they're talking about the ban. So, right now, in the moment, people
Yeah,
are more likely to search for business on TikTok than Instagram.
um, what is this? Dr. Tachi says a TikTok shop has folks in a chokehold.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, ride the wave while the wave is waving. It's moving. So it's not dead yet. So they're talking about Gen Z banning TikTok will have a huge impact on how they access information. Of course, that's something we will look at after when we get on the other side of whatever happens. So here they're talking about the topics searched for by Gen Z on TikTok, Instagram, and Google. So this is Generation Z. So TikTok is gift ideas, hair and makeup, well-being and fitness, recipes and meal ideas, fashion brands, and it goes on and on. On Instagram, let me see. What's the top one on Instagram? Fashion brands, then hair and makeup, then well-being and fitness, then gift ideas. On Google, look at what they search for on Google when they do get there. Local services, car repair, cleaners, plumbers. Something's broken. I need a local person to come and fix it.
Now,
Then restaurant and bars.
yeah, that's see, Google being local
Mm-hmm.
is gonna keep them in the game
Yes.
because TikTok, I'm not going to TikTok to find something local.
Right. And so
But
see they're still using Google, but they're using it differently. I have a problem.
or
I
I'm
need yeah.
like restaurants near me or something is
Yeah,
coming
I'm
up.
going out with my friends.
Yeah.
What's then next is the electronics, phones, TVs, headphones. This is to buy. This is to purchase. So this is where the website saying the top 5 headphones, or TVs or phone or whatever the digital device is.
And they're going to go to Google because somebody is demonstrating.
Yeah, somebody has a website. Good Housekeeping. Well, they're not going to go to Good Housekeeping. I'm just saying Good Housekeeping does those comparison. What's the best?
Yeah, but a lot of that is definitely on YouTube.
Yes,
where they're demoing the latest tablet and blah 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 and how to use it. It's all
so
over
when
there.
they search, so when they search on Google, they're going to see those YouTube videos because those YouTube videos pop right up in the Google search. All right, so financial services, cars. They're not going to. They want to look at cars or they're gonna buy a car or whatever. They're not going to TikTok for that. They're going to Google.
Mm-hmm.
So see how Google's still in the game, but it's local stuff. Restaurants and bars, local. Electronic devices. I'm in the market for a new phone. I'm in the market for a whatever. They go to Google for that. Financial services. They're not going to TikTok for that because it's people are there, but they're this at the bottom. That's a need that they have. That I'm paying for a service, and I'm not going to TikTok for that. I go to TikTok for entertainment. Gen Z. Remember, this is Gen Z only. See?
But when they want something serious, they're going over to Google.
Yeah, cars, sports, latest news and updates. Now, that stuff is on TikTok, but they're not looking for it there. They're looking for the scores, the this, the that. Google. News and current affairs. Oh, look at the style of the grouping of what this is: local services, restaurants and bars, electronic reviews, financial services, because these are serious topics: cars, sports, news. So if they search for the latest thing that happened this weekend in Pennsylvania on TikTok, they're going to see funny things. They're going to see skits and people making jokes. But if they want actual news, they go and Google gives them the straight news, not the entertainment side of the news. This is all fascinating to me. I mean, I hope it is to you. So they're saying here the most popular search category on Instagram is fashion brands, hair and makeup, interior designs. Okay, so this talks about the Google restaurants and bars. So Google's play now is local.
Yes.
Serious local topics. I need a gardener, a plumber, maid service, something. I'm going to get a massage. I'm going to get a haircut. They don't go to TikTok for that stuff because they know TikTok to them is entertainment.
Right. And that is absolutely Google because the Google business, the Google My Business thing that's on there, business owners can put their thing there and be found
right
by people.
Yes. Yeah. So look at this. Which topics do Generation Z and Generation X use Google to search for in 2024? And we're putting these two side by side. Again, the serious stuff at the bottom for Gen Z, at the top for Gen X. They're doing something different. Gift ideas, hair and makeup, well-being and fitness, recipe and meal ideas, fashion brands, video games. Now, let's look at the recipe and meal ideas, because I'm in there. I will go to Google and search for recipes. I won't go to TikTok. Whereas Gen Z is not searching Google for that, because they're on TikTok, because people are what? Chefs, people that are cooks are making things, making dishes and showing that on TikTok. Visual. And see, I don't need the visual. I just want the recipe. So I go to Google because it's printed. A quarter teaspoon of this, a quarter teaspoon of that, half of this, a cup of this, a cup of that. Gen Z doesn't think that way. They just want to see it visually. They want to see the dish visually. So if you're in this area, recipe and meal ideas, think about who your audience is and how they want that information.
We have a question from Dr. Tachi.
Okay, let me go back because I'm looking at,
She says, because of this and the popularity of search on social, do you see Google adding any social aspects to their platform?
No, because Google has tried social and doesn't work for them. Google Plus, and before Google Plus, there was a whole bunch of social things experiment that Google tried. None of them worked.
Google Plus worked, but then they took it away.
It worked, yes.
And now they try and bring it back. We're not. That's like Blab.
Google
Blab
realizes that this is the thing about Google. They know their wheelhouse, and it's not social. It is search. But what they're trying to do, what they're doing now, and I read an article about this the other day, and I'm going to investigate it, but Google is bringing more social results into the search results in Google. So before, there you would see Instagram, but now you see X tweets, you see Reddit stuff, you see Quora stuff, and there's some other forums. So, and also remember, Google is putting generative AI results at the top. I don't know if you noticed that. They're putting their Gemini stuff on top of everything.
Right, because when you search, it says learn more here, and it takes you all wherever that source is.
That's their Gemini results AI. And then below that, they will have videos, or they will have the core, depending on what you ask. I'm starting to see Reddit, subreddit links, and Quora, which is Quora. That's a site where people would ask questions and get answers. So think about that. That's what Google is doing. They're bringing it from the other party into the search results. But they put their stuff up top. Like, remember, ads used to be at the top, and I always ignored. I was like, the first 3 entries are ads. I always ignored them. Now it's like the top is Gemini AI stuff. I ignore, unless it catches my eye with something, and then I might look at it. But I've trained myself to look below that, and a lot of people do that because they know Google will put their stuff at the top. Which I'm not faulting Google, because that's what they're like. Hey, look at our stuff first. But them doing a social platform is not going to happen, because they've discovered that bringing it in from other places. I'm trying to think of LinkedIn, if I've seen LinkedIn stuff. It depends on what you search on, that you'll see social things. But I read an article this week about that. I was going to look into it. That they're doing more Reddit, more Quora. I'm thinking there's another site where you ask questions, and so they bring that in. Does that help?
I think so.
But Google has tried it. Google has tried social for years, even before Google Plus. I'm trying to remember there was something they had before, and it just they try it and they let it drop, because they realize that's not their wheelhouse. Social, Google knows that social ain't their wheelhouse. Social's being done. Go ahead.
Better by other people.
Yeah. So Google knows that Instagram, Facebook, X, Reddit, Quora, whatever else that comes up, they know they're doing it. All they gotta do is just pull it in. And those sites are happy because, well, ooh, big, Google is looking at us. We're happy. There's the connection.
And it's
So
almost
it's
like, I'm
go ahead.
sorry to interrupt,
No, go ahead.
but it's almost like for them to do social, it's like them taking on another uh, thing on their plate or another assignment, which they have to
Mm-hmm.
monitor, which would not let them
Mm-hmm.
be as effective with their search stuff. Oh, wait,
Right.
they're playing to their A game by doing the search.
Yes. Google started out as search. They can't get it. They were starting to drift away from that. Things were happening, and people were like, "Whoa, pull it back, Google. Focus on your core value, your core thing that you provide, which is search." And this is why we're talking about this, because certain generations will always go to Google. Even though
Right.
Gen Z is starting at TikTok, there's Gen X. That's why we were looking at the other chart. Gen X and Boomers, they go to Google. That's habit. That's not going to change. They may do some things on TikTok, but that's not the first place they go to. So Google knows this, and they tried the social game. Google Plus was their best bet, but internally, I don't know why it was not. They decided to let it go,
Mm-hmm.
because you can't have everything on the buffet and be successful. And Google's like, we got too many things going on, and they got rid of it. So yeah, they're not. I don't think Google is going to go back to putting out a search platform, or they're just going to include what's available, whatever the hot, like right now. The article said Reddit and Quora, which I was surprised. So I'm like, Quora, that
Yeah,
thing is still
somebody
around.
should. And I think Quora is the boomers situation.
Mhm.
You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Boomers. Or, okay, so here's the thing. The people who started all this stuff, like the Tim Fox and
Mhm.
all
Mhm.
the people who are in tech,
Yeah.
they're now in the boomer age range.
Right. Right.
And so they can answer questions on Quora, you know what I mean? And you'll get actual knowledgeable answers. So,
Yes.
you know,
All right. So there's one more in here, and then we'll take this down. There's one more. Let me see. Where did oh, here it is. Oh, we talked about. Did we do this one? There are two different. Oh yeah, we did it. Okay, so that's the last one. This one, the topics do Generation Z and X use the Google to search for, which I hope this information has you know given you some insight, because that's what it's about.
yep,
Insight into how things are working now when we're talking about search. And of course, we got to talk about social media, because, like we just said, Google is incorporating social media results into the SERPs, what it's called, SERPs, search engine result page, which is, you type something and the page pops up. That's a SERP, SERP. And thank you for asking that, Dr. Tati, because that's a good question about Google and social. They tried it, it didn't work, and they dropped. They were like, okay, we don't need to do it. It's Google. It's like, we don't need to do it. We're just going to search, we're going to focus on our core value. And that's a good lesson for them to learn. As a business owner, you don't want to include, you want everything at the buffet. You want to put everything on your plate. What happens when you put everything on your plate at the buffet?
you ain't
Falls
eating
off.
none. Yeah.
Falls off. You're full because you ate this or that or that. It's too much. So you need to say, hey, this is my wheelhouse. This is my thing. Let me do it well. And this is where a lot of new business owners get tripped up. They're like, okay, I'm going to have a course on this, and I'm going to have a thing on that. I'm going to have 10 courses. I'm going to have 50 things. But you haven't gotten good at the one. See, most successful brands, corporations, they started with one thing. Nike, Phil Knight started with one thing, one shoe. He didn't have like 50 lines and Michael Jordan and all the stuff they got now. They built up into that. One thing.
Get good at the
One.
one.
What did McDonald's have?
Hamburger.
One thing. The hamburger. Wasn't even a cheeseburger. Was a hamburger. One thing. But you're looking at them today going, well, they got all of these things. And I have to offer variety when you haven't mastered the one thing that you're all about. See? So it's you get scattered, nothing happens, and then the frustration sets in because nothing's happening. Same thing with social media. It's the frustration of I'm still seeing the conversations today. I was somewhere reading them. Oh, well, my real views and blah blah blah, and last year I got this or it's down. I'm like, well, that's a sign to try something different. Either move on, continue what you're doing, move to another platform. Hello, Pinterest. You don't even have to have a website for Pinterest. You need a link, and you've got links from YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, whoever. Your profile, your post, your newsletter, your email list. See how that works? But people want to pile on a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm like, that's the wrong position to take because you're at the buffet. You know, we talked about this before with the fat boys, all you can eat, and then restaurant owner was like, get it. You guys are eating everything. But you don't want to do that. That doesn't work in business. And when I find these data studies and these numbers and this information, I like to get current stuff because if you're using this information and you see a study and it's 2020 or worse, 2018 or 19, please disregard that because all of that stuff was pre-pandemic. Doesn't work. Not relevant anymore. We are post-pandemic on the other side of it, and it's a whole different ball of wax. And I was, even when we were in lockdown, I was saying that things were going to be different because that's how it works. That's how change works. It works. Okay, so that is the Forbes Advisor study. I put the link in there. Take a look at it. Excuse me. I hope you get a lot of information, a lot of insight, things to think about, things that make you go, what you pay attention to and what you need to do from here on out. And I'm like, I've been talking about Pinterest and there it is. I'm talking about Snapchat and there it is. I'm just telling you.
I just got some ideas that I can use for Pinterest. You know, I put up some things. I'm going to join that with the Substack.
Okay.
So people, you know.
Substack, I forgot about stuff. That's a link. Anything that's a link. Your newsletter, your email, your this, your that, it could be your profile page. It could be one post. It doesn't have to be, what you're thinking. It's whatever it is. You're the traffic cop. Where do you want them to go? What do you want them to click on? The one thing. And Pinterest, remember, a nice graphic and I forgot what the format is. It's 1080 by 15 something. And you make the graphic look great. And then you put the pen in and you go about your business and just sit back and let it roll. Just leave it. Don't go and, well, let me go check. Just leave it. It's like putting up a video on YouTube. Leave it. Put it up. Leave it. Come back the next day. Pin some more. Just put it up. So, and I'm also saying about Pinterest, I'm slack on Pinterest too. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. These are things okay, I got to remember. Like I just said, I just put up a TikTok video. I was like, kept saying, I got to do the videos. It's just, doing it. And then I was like, put it up, and I just rolled on, went and checked it today, like all of these views. I'm like, okay, I'll put up another one today and just keep rolling with it and just make sure the link is there and you go to the link and this and that. That's what we need to do.
I have now my question for you is, and maybe somebody else has this question. When we put these things out, is it for awareness, so people are aware that we are here.
Okay, do you mean Pinterest specifically, or just
No, just in general, when we are putting something on TikTok or Pinterest or
Mhm.
Instagram, I
Okay,
view it
so
as
all right,
awareness.
so right. So let's talk about this. So we're using social media for awareness, right? But it has to be, you have to have the system of directing them into, people say
Some
funnel. I don't like to use funnel. Into your system of, this is where I want you to go. I want you to buy something. I want you to get on my list. I want you to go to my website. I want you to read my this. I want you to see my latest recipe. Whatever it is, that's what you're doing, but you're connecting the two.
so
Now,
so
go ahead.
what you talked about last week, I think it was, taking them to your touch points.
Yes, the touch, that's where this ties into the touch points. You decide your touch points. There are so many. And this is where people get tied up. And another thing I'm going to talk about later, but is that link in bio where I go to their link in bio and they got 1,000 things for me to click on. And I'm like, no, I might have mentioned this before. It's the Baskin Robbins 31 flavors. It's too many choices. I'm going to leave or choose vanilla. It's the human psychology of it. So that's why I said the touch points. Where do you want them to go? I suggest you have a Facebook, you have a you have your houses on the popular properties. That's Facebook, Instagram, what's the other one? TikTok if you want, Pinterest if you want. But I'm just saying, I talk about Pinterest a lot because I see the potential thing that's growing there, and then this data study shows me that Pinterest is becoming this place of slow growth. And it's been around for a while. People just ignored it. I ignored it. It was just Pinterest. Now it's like, okay, it's simple. A graphic and a pen. And I'm directing people with my visual to do something I want them to do. As a business owner, what is that? That's to generate a sale, but sometimes you don't want the direct sale. You want to put them on another slower boat, which is your email list. Once they're on your email list, what do? You send them a weekly wrap up. I have a special sale. This is happening in my business. I have a new product. Whatever it is. Now you can do all those things on social media, but they're going to, some of those things are not going to be seen, especially on Instagram, because of the nature of the scroll. Right? But if they're on your email list, you can see when people are opening. There's email rates and conversions and things like that. And, it shows you people that click on the link. All that stuff is there once you get in the email. But you're putting them there because the email list is your secondary safety boat of, remember, Facebook can go down, Instagram can go down, you're running ads, but when they go down, those ads stop. Also, I talked about Blab today, like a site could go down. Like TikTok, there's talk of it being, not there. What do? Prepare now for what may come later. Also, your email list gives you so many other things. Like I talk about Mario a lot. Mario Armstrong has this sponsorship program, which is excellent, and he talks about how you make content on social media, but you don't do it piecemeal, like, give me $50 for a post. He talks about getting deals where they pay you by the year, but there's certain things you have to do, and they don't look at your follower count, they look at your email list. And you're like, what? When I heard that, I was like, what? Because, for example, Dr. Bob, he talked about Dr. Bob, and Dr. Bob has said this, that he has a sponsorship deal with Dove for Men, I think. And it's not based on his social media numbers, it's based on his email list, which he has thousands of people on his list. And he gets a brand deal with Dove, and they don't pay him, well, every post you get $25. No, he's gotten a yearly deal. Like, they paid him X amount of dollars for the whole year for him to make content. So see how that works? And it's not because of I have 1 million followers on social media, because follower counts that doesn't matter anymore. Brands and businesses are slowly waking up to the fact that influencers having 1 million followers does not equal sales. Followers don't equal sales. That's what this is all about. That's what this Instagram fallout is about. I got 1 million views on my reels last month, but I don't have, because they think because they have 1 million views on a reel that equals sales. That does not equal sales. Slow and steady building the customer journey, putting them on something old like an email list is where the sale happens. And I have talked about another person that I followed for years. And when she sends me an email, I open it because I know there's good stuff in there for me. And she's got this offer and that offer and this for sale and this new and this, and I don't have to not judge, but I don't have to vet her. If I have the cash, I'm buying. Credit card, bloop, bloop, bloop. I don't even think about it because she's established that no one can trust with me by providing value, by being knowledgeable, by being there, by me seeing her business grow from this little thing to millions of dollars. See, the proof is this is proof in the pudding kind of stuff. So that's what I'm saying. Where people go, well, followers and this, I'm like, you don't do that. You put out the content for the content's sake. You put out the value for the value's sake. Why are you in business? How do you provide value? Figure out how that works on social media with each different platform that you decide to use, because every platform is like going to another country. Decide the one that you want to be on, or several, if you have the space or the time or the inclination or the money to hire somebody to do that. See, all of those things, that's why I always say social media looks easy, but it's hard work. People think it's an ATM machine. It can be if you've got your system set up, if you got your process set up, if you got your strategy set up, if you know why you're here. If you don't know any of these things, you're going to flounder. And I know that for a fact because I have some clients that I tell them blah, 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 blah. They don't do it. And they're still asking me, well, why this, that? I'm like, you didn't do what I said. I know you didn't do what I said because I follow you. You didn't do what I said. I can't help you if you don't put into practice the advice that I'm giving you. So all of that is wrapped up in here. And I'm not saying that, to be hard on the clients or whatever, but this is, you want something, you paid for it. I gave you the advice. You have to do the work. I can't do it for you. I can direct you. I can't do it for you because you're the business owner. So that's just a couple of, what's going on. But remember why we're here. We're here to use this tool or tools to get more brand awareness, get more, and ultimately the end result of this is the sale. But there's so many pathways to the sale. I didn't even bring up SMS. I forgot all about that.
Right.
Maybe you want, because Bizchicks has the SMS, the number text. What is it? 33777 to join Bizchicks. That could be your thing in Pinterest. If there's a page, it has to be a link. If there's a page or whatever, you could direct them to that and put them on your SMS list, which is a whole nother kind of relationship, but it's doable.
It is.
So that's a little bit. I mean, there's more, but I'm so glad that things are moving this way. I mean, I'm not okay. I sympathize with the people that are like, I'm not getting any views. But it was never about views. It was never about followers. It was never about, I got 1 million people. It was never about that, because that number does not translate into dollars in the bank. Like I always said, likes, you can't take those to the bank. They're not money. You can only take money to the bank. So how do I turn a like into money? That is the question. How do I turn this attention, this like, this heart, this comment into money? And it's doable depending on your industry, depending on the level of expertise, confidence, connectivity, consistency. That's another one. Consistency. If you drop the ball, it's never going to happen. It's the same thing with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan practiced at night. They even made a commercial where Michael was a kid out there practicing in the dark, and his mom was like, "Come on in," and he was like shooting in the dark, shooting in the dark, shooting in the dark. But why? Because he wanted to do the thing that he loved and become good at it, which he did. And he's like, he's like the greatest basketball player. So did it work out for Michael Jordan? Yes. But he didn't drop the ball. If he dropped the ball, where would he be now? Michael Jordan doing something else, real estate agent. I don't know.
Working at the tire shop.
I mean, I think honestly he would have been successful at something like a business owner or whatever, but he wouldn't be Michael Jordan, Michael the Jordan, and not the actor, the basketball player.
Right, because the basketball player, Michael Jordan, him becoming a basketball player opened doors for other stuff.
Yes. So Michael Jordan opens the door for Kobe, for LeBron, for you name your player.
And it also got him being good, got him that Nike deal.
Right. Which is that he could live off of that alone. That alone is just the money from that is astronomical. But you could any industry and name somebody that's the star. Michael Jackson's not here, but what did he do? He, there was some things in there, but he was a child performer, and he was driven. What I'm trying to say is he was driven. Look at all the people that were driven. Steve Jobs. There's a biography on Steve Jobs. After I read that, I have much respect for him as a business owner. Now, as a person, that's a different story. I don't get into that. Maybe he wasn't a great person. I'm not here for that. I'm here for look at the story of how he built Apple and the dedication and the perseverance and the consistency of I have something I want to build and I'm going to build and I'm not going to listen to the naysayers. Same thing with Michael Jordan. I have something I want to do. He wasn't the greatest player in school, I didn't know that. Michael Jordan was not the greatest player. He practiced consistently, got better, had the design. All of those things are wrapped up in there. So that's what we have to put a little bit of that. I'm not saying be Michael Jordan of business. Try to be, but that's why we're here talking about this every week. That's why we're here. I mean, I give you my insights. I read stuff and I'm like, okay, this is where we're going. This is what's happening with Google. These are the things we need to do. Don't be, followers. And then remember, I talked about the silent lurkers. How did I get that sale? There's nobody commenting. There's nobody following. My follows didn't increase, but I got sales. How? Because you have a system in place. And the people that, like I said, with the person that I followed for years, if she has something new, which I discovered she has something new, I was looking at it last night going, oh, should I get this? I don't know. I probably will, but I don't need to look at her and go, well, is she right? Can I trust her? Does she give results? And those are the kind of things we want to do as a business owner. Okay. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps. But remember, it's down. It's very simple. Pinterest, a graphic, a link. Instagram, post, go to bio, link. But now they got the ManyChat DM thing going on in Instagram. So that might be a part of it. And these are some of the things that people, they don't want to do. They think social media is a ATM, and it's not. It can be, but it's not. You have to have a system. You have to have leverage, continuity, know, like, and trust. All these things. Isn't it a bunch of stuff? Isn't it confusing? Some people are confused. We're trying to get rid of that. So keep, do Michael Jordan. Keep your eye on what you want to be. Consistently do it. And that's it. And we're going to be here coaching you and rah-rah, and you can do it. And this is what you need to look at. We'll do that here. So make sure you come here and watch and listen. And most of all, do. Which Everybody needs to do, even me. I'm not saying that I got it right together. I'm just saying my thing is time. That's another thing. Do we have time to do it? We gotta find the time. So that's the hardest thing.
Right. Figuring out that schedule, looking at your plate.
Yeah, getting the schedule down and making sure. But then life happens, and then you look at something on your phone, and Netflix got the Bridgerton is out, and then you like, okay, well, let me stop and watch. So you get off track. But that's just the human part of things. So your thing could be whatever it is now. What's going on now? Trying to think of something sports wise that's going on. No, it's not.
The Olympics is
Oh, the
happening.
Olympics is getting ready. So again, plan for that. Plan for that. If the Olympics is your thing as a business owner and you can tie into the Olympics, tie into it. And then you can enjoy it and also, go, okay, I got my campaign going on, tying into the Olympics. So
Yep.
but my point is there's always something happening entertainment wise or politically, and you get off track, and that happens. You just get back on.
Yep. You
And
guys
that's
got
it for today.
this is really good, TJ.
Thank
As
you.
always,
Thank you.
we look, we got stuff happening.
Trying to bring some insights and we got to figure it out. And I think a part of this is understanding. I think that's a part of this that people are not getting, the understanding of it.
Right.
It
So
looks easy.
So if you need some help getting understanding and you want some more, maybe some one-on-one time, you need to reach out to TJ. TerryJohnsonOnline.com/info so that you can get the help you need with this. This is so people can become aware of your services and things that you do.
And see, another part of this is that if you ask me questions, I answer them, because your questions, they add a layer to this of real life. This is what my business is going through, or this is what I'm thinking. All of those things come together. It's not about me studying or reading, or I hear we've talked about this about when I was in school. Marketing was the 4 P's of marketing. Like, we don't use that kind of stuff anymore. We don't use those old things, those old processes. Everything is new. So whenever I answer a question, I hear about your situation, that puts in a piece in the puzzle of understanding. So ask me the question. I love the questions.
Yes.
If I don't know, I'm gonna find it for you.
So we would like to invite you to reach out to TJ. She's always here on Tuesdays, and then she's back with us on Fridays when we do our Tech Life Weekly, so you can get the latest and what's happening in social media news. So she'll, like I said, every Tuesday, every Friday, 8 a.m. right here at Bizchicks. We also would like you to become a part of the Bizchicks community, and you can text Biz to 33777, or you can go to bizchicks.net, and we will help you take the hassle out of your hustle. That's why we're here. You got something that you need to be doing, but you need help figuring some things out and knowing what to do, how to do it. That's why we're here.
Yeah, and don't try to consume it all at once. Like this, everything on Bizchick every day. Don't try to consume it all. If you can't, come back and I want to come back to that when I have some time. Bits and pieces. It doesn't matter.
Yes. So we'll talk to you about stuff like making time on your calendar or during the week. Give yourself an hour, a half hour to learn something that you heard about here, so that you can just kind of, okay, let me see what that's. I heard them talk about that. Let me see what that's about, and then come back here, ask questions.
Yes, ask the question. Yeah, that's very important. Ask the questions.
So with that, we want to say thank you. Coach Karen is coming up tomorrow with Money Mindsets, and Thursdays is Robin Shimizu with Happy Healthy Habits. And then we are going to be back here on Friday talking tech and social media and media with the Tech Divas.
Yeah.
All right. That is our time for today. Thank you again for being with us. We look forward to helping you in any way we can take the hassle out of your hustle.
Indeed.
Talk to you next time.
Bye. Thanks for watching, everybody.